The lava rock banks. The lava rock bank. In the trees, pine spruce, it rained of fun. New door and skip a house and then two more. With names I said many times in life of what new adventure today. The curbs all funny looking if you did know what wax was. Color of pre-nose and rumble of tingle of feet. As I rode over pebbles from somewhere, glued a terrible glue, most tales of weird things we tried to get giddy. On the perpendicular to the road was a couple other friends. They didn't outdoor craze with the crew as much, and they journeyed through the vast of homes was another, and even further a couple more and more. The backyard of my friend was a hill to right. At the top was a trail through danger zone. We skirted through to an opening forest bluff area, where we ran through to the farm in the hood. Tractor and everything. This was a route to and from bus stops. And coming back from school, our bus driver made fun noises with his mouth, though he was more serious than we knew. The route to the forest with jumps and dirt trails felt like another world. It was so close and new. Near there was another friend with the ride down the Bowdish. It was a thrill, though not daring to start from the top. We liked it when walking the railroad tracks and beyond there. We didn't venture too much there. Next to the railroads was another farmland with creatures. The town felt fresh, and excitement was in my heart with each day as I went out on the Cement Expressway. to friends of Gitty like. Our four-wheelers were the best way to tap that feeling. That was somewhere I enjoyed seeing the different cats running like wild out as I was. The neighborhood felt like I could go to most doors and it was right. Every house smelled and felt different. Like when you just start with the cleanse. All these feelings, it's so deep of so many other hopes and fun you hardly are full of energy. We had major sports finds and most colored hairs inside. Coldy stacked the cheese whiz and Ritz out back was prime. For after a shike, gosh, how intricate and varied was each possible slush in the little window, the way the thingy turned, and the possible consistency of the blues and golden browns and reds and would come pouring into the cup. With smells too sweet not to throw off a snooter, colas with no actuality, the blue and the cup just was art. And so many candy bars should not be said. The subs were a thrill. I'd say, yeah, how could it feel so right? All the oil and olives and too much info, creamed ice and pizzas that I could throw at a wall. I'm so thrilled if the wall was desiring little kid, hunger from the sun-soaked bumpy rides and bearings, we all longed for the higher. The side road was where the school bus stopped, and we had 2 blocks to walk to get to that glorious hill. To this way, that familiar place, that way, that wonder, and even a third road, back up another hill to the roads of the forest lane. I whiz past the houses, I wonder what their lives could be, and mounds of cement, hills of momentous gallop. The farmlands out that way had many funds, the pool and soy vibe structures. The act of trying to ollie like every day. Bow, the amount of times math was the way of the day. The trucks were colored and sparkled in the cases at yes please places, visits to the bearings and the wheels and the symbols. The rifle with the left coordinated together, and that was just getting off the ground. Boards flying out, ankles, cars, cats, dogs, heck, them boards were nasty. Then there were the bake breaks. You gotta know if they're the ones here or there, else you don't think too much about it. A little pebble was a dread of the wheeled carnivores. At any speed, gosh, any hootin' scootin' your Putin could get a good The skating came later. Not that I'm bound over the other. I just need a little moment. It's like a stair step, a little here, a little for the ego there. The gliding was, gosh, satisfying. Barely needing waxing. You gotta plan on waxing. An hour or so where you're going, skating on trucks, the biking was grinding too. Like all the outer sides could be little weapons to street slap ball in the goalie pool of the cul-de-sac and flaming plants adorn their blue houses. The door was a long arch, then dripping gently as I walked up to the patio to knock. The smell was familiar, and nice. The grass was as unique as every house, different shades and waves. Waves as you pass by every time you skate towards some waxed area, parts of you, some moments of coordinating the back foot, and they wept like spitting a bar. It was more chancy second the stop could really be baby thinker hairy, especially if you're feeling the nose grind. Maybe the tail down and the nose up was even harder though. I like the sound of the pedals spinning. That's when the wind is waving the hair, and you're going away from those too many ideas. Finally free to my thinker, I say to die. I could criticize up the walks past the chicken coops along the main road toward the school. The back was so vast. I was like, is this legal? What, I don't know if I can even have time to get all the way to the other side in time. The tetherball was more than I knew. I tried to unemotion it, yeah. The wall ball was getting the getter going. The kind of stuff you hear easy all day in class, like when you're waking up early and you think wall ball, alright. Foursquare, I think all this is safe. Playing, and the vastness of the field was like why I stay by the cement wild lands we all live in pro. We all went pro every day, sucker. We hardly trying as we sweating and shaping and about living out there. One hand's tetherball's your game, like the slides, guilty pleasure, not ashamed. The rock pits, what do we even do here? Was there some games we don't know about? If you and this other are on the T-ball, it's gonna be an audience and loud. Dancing in the lines is the only way to make it back in the classroom alive. I mean, there's so much happening in lines to the class, it's shocking. The recess is not necessary. Say I can't sit. What are these, like rock and roll stations? Even for a chair bolted, molded with such pride. This desk rock, it would be great for someone's imagination. What must have been delusion was thick and heavier, a hindrance still. Kindness, no sound, but the excellence of radiating water. To chill and think out whatever he hadn't been able to in too long now before waiting to describe. For me it was like, how do I make it in and out alive? And with my legs, the desk was so hard you could use it as a sledgehammer. To upheave roads, a chair desk combo was so tight and drawn up so that you could look at it on paper, class, and run away. Just run away from the paper. I could stand its class, not even at snack times. The cheese noodle was the holy grail. Like if you got a bowl of the snow, your days cooled like water to young na-na-na-na. Lunchtime is all the hands, all the kinds of trades didn't happen. People almost did lose themselves with all the drama. At whose lunch rubber gel was something you wanted, and athletics was the hardest. When you're trying to stretch, my pride was hurt 'cause I couldn't the best stretch on the scales. It was measured like more than our math books. Had a visual pulled up, helped the gym class shine. I startled noticing, gosh, where did I get off when I recall this? The dodgeball was a festival day. Where's where you got tickets enough to do this or that? There was a pool-like thing on the entryway. That was brilliant. You could sit and chill and do work or flirt. It was the walks to those places where you had no idea why you were feeling so many things, or were like, I'm just a kid. I want to live. Snuggled out recess and the lunchroom was ball and blitz. Classroom movie times were bittersweet. I had a crush on the teacher I recessed, and school balanced like the Crusoe ride through the streets with swords of wood and sticks roll way above the house toward the Durlands woods, where I felt a little better. When you approached a curb that you didn't wax, you learned and felt the possibilities. It's loud on a curb and very different to get off, getting on the curb and sliding. 90 to 99% of what happened with a 1 foot or so for like years. Then when you on and clean off, it's Shaz going to the skate at the park. Before I had so many possible plays, and I felt as scorching and lightning, as elegant as a chess list. The physical is where you were, like I'm not going all in ever now. Yet those balls of rubber were not what you want hitting any of you. Some were better when you were secretly trying your best and you made it past square two, were a bash sitting and just craving the next time there. Were times for this game and everyone was in, like if you get to square one, something you knew not, don't know how do I fake it, or you're out. Gosh, it's fun to be in. And there's all this with these, oh no, I'm gunning for them. It's like squeeze, if you dazzle one of them, then there's a gangle you unmask. Right there on the cement, just squares painted in yellow. Could be anywhere, but they're here, and we're here, and it's primal time. Not as fun as Wobble. That was my secret pride. Like when you get a 2-waller and the ball's like, no! Why? Where is physics? Physics? Physics?